joining me on my podcast, Profit with a Plan. This is where you can get some great ideas to make your most profitable small business. Just so you know, financial planning isn't only for those that have a lot of money or run big companies. A workable financial plan is for us everyday small business owners and professionals that want to make great financial decisions that lead to bigger profits. So join me, Marcia Reiner, your certified financial planner and financial business strategist, each Tuesday for some smart ideas that can add more to your bottom line. I help ambitious business owners run their businesses and grow their profits using a unique way of growing income and spending strategically. That produces bigger profits without killing themselves or constantly having to chase more clients. If you know of anybody that may be curious, share my podcast or let's chat, and we can always book a brief call to see what we can do together to create better profits in your business. So let's get on with today's show. Today's show, we're talking about my profit equation. And what does that mean? It's very simple. If you think about an equation, it's 1 + 1 = 2. Well, income minus expenses equals profits. And so I've simplified it down to the most essential piece. Income minus expenses equals more profits. Well, this idea came from me while I was looking through my life and trying to figure out a path I was doing. I was actually teaching a retirement income class for some pre-retirees, and it started to hit me that there's so many ways that I can help business owners change the way that they're doing business and pulling that information from the investing world and tweaking it around so they can think of doing business a little bit easier. So I've gotten some incredible results in my own personal company using this equation. And I took it out and tested it with some friends and business owners that I had as clients. And they've had incredible results doing this. One client had started her business and went within a couple of months up to $45,000 in income each month. Pretty good. Now, she has a business and she has experience and it's growing well, but these little tweaks that I've done in her business has exploded her income. So this stuff works, and I challenge you to open your mind a little bit to some new ideas. So why is this equation important to your business? If you think about it, income grows. If you grow your income, you'll grow your profits. And there are many different ways that you can grow your income, and we'll talk about those, a few ideas in just a moment. Then there's the other side of the equation, which is spending. And I've coined it strategic spending. So if you spend strategically, and every dollar that goes out of your business goes into something that's going to produce more income, you're going to make more money. And so I say that every dollar going out should have an ROI, or like I like to say, a return on the investment, right? So if you're hiring people, that's going to better have a return on investment. Your marketing, your office piece that you're using, your staff, yourself, everything you do needs to have an ROI. And if you think about it, if your spending goes up, and your income goes up and your spending goes down but is more strategic, your profits are going to go up. It's a great tool, and it's a really simple plan. So what are some of the ways that we can increase your income? So we always like to have income from our clients, but there are ways that we can produce more value for our clients so they'll be able to pay higher prices for us. Now, there's a bunch of gurus out there that are constantly talking about just increase your price, increase your price. Or if you're going to do the Walmart version, you can keep cutting your price till you end up at zero. I can't remember the gentleman that said it, but I heard a great phrase coined that said, if you're not the lowest price, there's no prize in second lowest. So if you're not the lowest price item and you don't have sheer volume that can support a big income off of low price items, then you might as well be near the top. And how do you value, or how do you create an income that's at the top? You have to add tremendous value to your clients. That means you have to go above and beyond and provide things that maybe they wouldn't get. So As an example, if you're a chiropractor, there's one on every corner, right? You come in, pop, pop, crack, crack. You go away, then you come back 2 days later, pop, pop, crack, crack. You're creating this addiction with the clients. Good or bad, it is something that happens. But what if you added other services or other complementary products to that client and you gave them to them in a package form? Now you're offering more value to this client, and the client perceives the value, and therefore he's not running to the Groupon price down the street. He's running to you, right? So there's other ways as well to increase your income. One of those ways is having employees doing something that you shouldn't be doing. So for example, your genius is in selling your service because you created that service. That's your genius. That's your magic. That's where you should be spending your time. Your time should not be spent on accounting. However, you need to understand your accounting. So you hire somebody at a fraction of what your time is to go do the accounting for you. That is a strategic spending strategy. You can also have your employees do some of the services or offer some of the products that we talked about in building your value. That's another strategic spending strategy, right? So these are ways that you can do income and get the spending and have it grow for you. So hiring people to do the stuff that you're not good at doing and you shouldn't be doing because that's not where your genius is. So there's another way that you can grow your income. Many of us business owners need to have a cash reserve on hand to make payroll, emergencies, to handle the businesses, the pieces that are coming through. That cash is dead. It's not doing you anything. And we really want to have all cash in the business working for you. So maybe we want to look at ways to turn that cash into more money, right? There's investments, there's pieces that you can use. And we're not talking risky investments. I'm not talking go throw your money in the stock market and hope that it gives you a return or have something that's not in your control. But there are some investments that you can make that you have full control over and that your cash would still be very safe and oftentimes accessible to you in a situation that if you needed that cash, you could have it in a short period of time. So I want you to start thinking and shifting your mind to say, what can I do to increase income in my business without having to run down the street and chase more clients for the lowest price possible? Okay, so there's also future income. So if we build your business properly, your business should be worth something in the future. Your client base is worth millions. If you have a good following in your clients and you keep up with them and you can sell them and resell them and reoffer them products, your clients are liquid gold. But there's also structure and processes in your business. Just because you put your life and blood and tears into this business means that you're going to have something that's worth value later on. And you can sell it if you do it properly. And so there are ideas that you can do now that will make your business more valuable. So that's a future income. And just because you sell your business, you don't just get a big fat check. What if you got a payment plan on it, right? Now you have retirement income coming from the business that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into. So these are just little ideas. There are property ownerships that you could do. What if you bought the land that your building's sitting on? Then when you sell the business, you still have an income stream off that property, or you can rent off other units to other people and have another income. Am I getting the juices flowing here on these ideas? What if there's a way that you can license what you're doing and have someone else come in kind of like a franchise, but without all the franchise rules? You can license your idea to other people. Intellectual property is a fabulous product and service. And if you have ideas and directions, maybe you're doing that. You also could create different streams of bringing clients in. So I just gave you 6 income ideas that you can use in your business to grow it. How about I switch the side of the equation and talk to you a little bit more about the spending side? So again, more income in, more profits. Less income going out or less expenses going out, you can have more profits. So one of the ways is to cut your expenses. Get rid of things that you don't use that aren't producing you an income. So these are things that can be cut or negotiated down. Maybe it's you're paying for a cleaning service when you can find a cheaper cleaning service. Or maybe you're paying a higher rent that you don't need to be paying a rent at all. Maybe if you're a service-based professional, you can go get a WeWork or a Hera Hub, or you can work out of your home. So there's ideas that you can do to cut expenses. The other thing I'd like you to think about is that every single dollar leaving this business better return on that investment. So here we're thinking, okay, if we were to spend money on our employees, like we talked about them, can they produce us an income? That's a strategic spending. If I spend on marketing, is that marketing producing me more clients? That's strategic spending. Do I need a storefront? If I do, how is the storefront representing me, and is it bringing me in clients? Do I have signage? Do I have one of the pizza tents that sit outside the front door? Am I visible? You need to make sure that when you're investing in your property that you're in, that you're getting some sort of traction or return for it because you have visibility. These are just some ideas for that ROI. So make sure that every dollar that has to go out is bringing you in money. Think about your dollar you spend on your cell phone. That cell phone's a valuable money maker for you. So that's a good investment to make. But if you're paying for your kid's cell phone, probably not a good investment, at least not in the business. So talking about other ways of spending, there's spending on marketing. Marketing absolutely should be a key expenditure in your business, because it's bringing you in new clients. But you have to analyze that marketing and make sure it's working appropriately and effectively for the amount of money you're spending. So many people will run out and throw money at Facebook ads, but they don't have the ad done right, and it's not really tracking or bringing in clients for you. So I would highly recommend that you understand your marketing and understand the rate of return that you're getting on that investment on that marketing so you can tweak it. And just because you do it once doesn't mean it needs to continue and continue and continue. Maybe doing it once didn't work, but if you tweak it and do it a different way for the second time, it will work. So I suggest that you understand your marketing in detail, the cost and the return that you're getting for that marketing. If you're not getting a return on it, then I suggest you change it up. And I would even encourage you, that's not your genius, right? Now you ought to have somebody else doing that for you. So I would recommend maybe that's the employee that you hire that will take that marketing piece off your plate so you can meet with the clients. Someone else is doing the marketing that's going to bring in the business for you. Then we've got spending for growth. Spending for growth is an investment in your future. So as we spoke about putting systems and processes in place, buying signage, buying property maybe, that's a future and that's for growth. But there's also investing in scaling. So you create a business that's going to grow, but that doesn't mean you have to do everything. So maybe you're expanding your size of your location, maybe you're expanding the number of employees that you have coming in. That's a growth factor. And that should be, if you're spending properly, you need to understand what that goal is and how long it's going to take you to get that money back. And is it working and in the path that you want for your business? I focus a lot on business planning, but if you remember, and I've told you several times, that almost every dollar you spend in your business, it's money. So you should have a, quote, financial plan that oversees the business plan inside. So that's why we talk about marketing and growth and employees and products and everything else, because that's how we grow profits. That's the money side of the business that you need to have both hands with a firm grasp on. And then finally, the other spending piece that I want to encourage you to do is consider spending on something that's evergreen. Evergreen is maybe something that doesn't take your time and energy. It's something that you do once, but then repeats for itself on auto drive. Maybe it's email marketing. Maybe it's a web presence that works while you're sleeping. Maybe it's some sort of rent that you have that you're receiving off of your building because you bought a 4-unit building and you're only using one of them. So those other 3 rents are going to be evergreen and living and constantly paying you an income off of it. So these are ways. So again, remember, income minus expenses equal profits. So that's what we're talking about. So how can you implement the profit equation into your business and get it moving quickly? It sounds like a good idea, right? You start with a plan, a business plan, and a financial plan that will get you to the goals that you want to have. And then, as I always say with any plan, you start at the end result and work backwards to build that plan through. You want to make $1 million? Well, you might not be able to make it today. But what if you started with $100,000 and then doubled the $100,000 to $250,000? Then the next year you double the $250,000 to $5,000. Then you double the $5,000 to $750,000. $750,000 is not a bad number, but then that's how you step because you figured out where it was that you wanted to go. And so I suggest you deliver or create that plan with actionable steps that will walk you backwards to what you need to do today, that will lead to what you need to do tomorrow and what you need to do for the week after that. So these are the ways to put plans together. And then I'd suggest get some help. Find the right solutions that won't take you more money, more time, or more energy. Find something that will get it done for you. Find the help that you need to get it done for you. And then remember, you're not an island. You shouldn't be doing this alone. Every athlete and performer has a coach. And even though they cross the finish line or complete the performance by themselves, they had someone working with them along the way. The same for any successful, truly successful business owner. They've had mentors and coaches along the way. Their business gets them there, but they never would have been able to see through the forest and look at the tree that's laying down without the help of someone else using the eyes. So I recommend you get some help and find the right people that can do it for you, those that have done it themselves and have these ideas and projections. So I'm available. But hey, thanks for listening today. I hope you found an idea or two to put into your business that will make you more in control of your money and grow your profits. If you'd like to know more specifically how you can increase your own profits in your business, let's chat. My contact information will be in this podcast information. And so thank you. Hey, next week's show is going to be with the amazing Miss Lisa Reed, and she is talking about getting speaking gigs now. How about talking instead of one-on-one to the same person, you can talk to one-on-many, and you can turn your business or your genius into a speech and get speaking with it, because that'll help bring in clients too and manage your time properly. So I can't wait for you to come back and hear Lisa's show. One more thing before I let you go, I am so excited. I have just finished, or I'm about to finish, my second book entitled Big Profit Secrets Exposed. And I'm going to be going out doing my own speaking tour between October and through 2020. So I hope that maybe I'll catch one of you live here in the future. So if you follow me, I'll make sure you get a copy of my book coming out. So just let me know when, hit me up and say I follow you, Marcia, so you get updates of when Profit with a Plan will come out again. So we would love to hear your feedback and questions and ideas for future shows. You can always reach out to me on any of my social channels, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, at Bella Financial or Marcia Reiner, or on my website, bellafinancialgroup.com, which is our sponsor. So thank you for listening today on your favorite podcast player to Profit with a Plan. And we're looking forward to more great profitable information on next week's show. And until then, make your plans and profit with it.